edition of Out and About. We don't normally start these in the middle of the night, but it is 3:30 in the morning and I'm heading to McAfee's Knob to do something I've always wanted to do. And that is to be at the Knob, which is on the Appalachian Trail. It's one of the iconic sites on the Appalachian Trail when the sun comes up. My friend Dina Imbriani is taking a group of people up to the summit for her birthday, which is this morning. And I decided to tag along. Dina and her friends have already been on the mountain all night. They went up last night and camped, and I'm going to meet them at a trail intersection so we can be there for the 6:40 a.m. sunrise. So thanks for joining me on this edition of Out and About.
Though many locals like me call the summit McAfee's Knob with an S at the end, officially it's just McAfee, named for Scotch-Irish immigrant James McAfee, who settled nearby in the 1730s.
So here we are at the parking lot, pretty nice and early. It's the beauty of getting here in the morning before the traffic gets here. Parking can be an issue here, and there is a very nice shuttle that Roanoke County runs.
The shuttle runs on the weekends from March to November, beginning at 7 a.m. from the I-81 exit 140 Park and Ride in Salem. Check the website for times and to make reservations, and plan your hike to ensure that you don't miss the last bus of the day back to your car.
Because it's very early in the morning and it's dark out, I will not take the normal AT trail from the parking lot, but I will start up the fire road, which then intersects.
It's a 4-mile hike up whichever way you go, with a 1,700-foot rise in elevation from the trailhead. Hiking in the dark presents its own set of challenges, so pack an extra set of batteries for your headlamp and be prepared to eat some spider webs if you're the first one up the trail for the day. A ridge of 420-million-year-old Silurian sandstone called the Tuscarora Formation makes up the rock outcroppings both along the way and at the summit. You'll pass through a mix of pine forest and hardwoods like oak and tulip poplar, and keep your eye out for critters as you shuffle up the fire road.
So now we have made it to the intersection of the fire road and the Overlook Trail. Now we sit and wait for our friends. According to my watch, it was 2.5 miles to here, almost. We did that in about an hour and 5 minutes.
After waiting a few minutes in the dark with my light off, breathing in the humid August air and listening to the late summer crickets, my friends emerged from the darkness so we could continue to the summit.
Good morning, Dina.
Good morning.
As we approached the top, the temperature dropped at least 10 degrees as our sweat dried up and we stopped to put on extra layers. When we heard the wind rustling in the treetops on what had been a dead calm morning, we knew that our goal was in sight. Though we were the first to arrive, we were joined just a few minutes later by a group from eastern Pennsylvania and another couple from the Tidewater area. Be aware that if you do this hike during peak season or on the weekends, you may encounter lots of other people who had the same idea. The trail hosts about 50,000 hikers each year, though most do not get up at the crack of dawn to do it. Keep in mind that other hikers will appreciate it if everyone gets a chance to enjoy the quiet beauty of the summit without music blaring from a speaker. That's what headphones are for. And give others the chance for their own iconic photograph while you eat your snacks off to the side. On this particular August morning, a young couple asked if I'd take their picture. Samuel and Megan Stickman picked the Knob as the perfect place to start their new life as a married couple. After a cup of coffee and some breakfast, our group started down, and then I watched as my friends broke down their tents at the Catawba Mountain campsite before I headed down the trail alone. Camping is not allowed at the summit, but there are 2 sites on the way up and one not too far past the summit. The sites have fire pits and outhouses, and there are 3 walled shelters with plywood floors. It's considered good trail etiquette to leave the shelters for tired thru hikers on their way from Georgia to Maine. But if you do sleep in one, make sure to clean up after yourself and secure any food in a bear-proof receptacle. Pack out any trash and don't ever leave any food behind to avoid attracting critters large or small. Though there are signs for water, The springs are often dry, and even when they aren't, you should filter anything you plan to drink. The best plan is to carry your own, at least 3 liters per person, to avoid dehydration. I do have to say that now that it's light, and I can see the trail is in really amazing shape thanks to the many volunteers who work along with the Appalachian Trail Conservancy to keep this heavily traveled trail passable. And I don't see trash, which means people have been through here picking it up, because sometimes you come and there is a lot. So if you do come do this hike, bring an extra plastic bag so that you can haul out anything you see, even if it's not yours, on the way out.
So here we are 6 hours later, back at the parking lot where we left at 3:45 this morning. Tired, but definitely worth it. Had a pretty good sunrise and some time with friends. If you're trying to decide if you are up for doing this hike, I would just say if you're in moderately good shape, you should have no trouble at all. But do know it is fairly strenuous, especially on the trail, not the fire road. Other than that, bring plenty of water and have a great time. And we'll see you out and about.